Hello and welcome to another episode of RoyB the Middleman podcast. And this time we are live. I'm not recording, this is recorded, it's not live. Trying to go live on YouTube and had some technical issues. We're not live, but we are in Sydney. And we're actually at the Botanical Gardens in Sydney doing this recording. So welcome everyone to all those listeners around the world, and especially those in Sydney. And for those that are in Sydney, there's a beautiful little cafe that's not long opened, that's in the heart of the CBD on Pitt Street, called La Famiglia, run by George and Arthur. Beautiful. They really make you feel at home. We'd never met them before. We walked in yesterday, and it's like they'd known us all their lives. And the coffee is amazing. So if you want to try a brand new coffee and you're in the CBD right near Hyde Park, La Famiglia on, I think it's 283 or 238 Pitt Street, around that area. It'll be on Google Maps anyway, and they're also on Instagram. So for George and Arthur, if you're also watching this, hello, thanks for the great coffees over the last couple of days. And what we're going to talk about today, we're going to do a bit more on manifesting. And just quickly before we get into that, because we're out in the open, there is going to be a little background noise, nowhere near as bad as Uluru though, so please keep listening. We enjoy all of our viewers and listeners on this podcast. We tried to find a quieter place as possible, which is why we came to the Botanical Gardens. So without further ado, yes, I know we've already done a podcast on manifesting, haven't we? Conscious relationship.
We spoke about conscious relationships and the work one does on oneself in order to call in the one. But yeah, this is manifesting in terms of all realms and across all paradigms in whatever your belief system is.
Yeah. Well, we did wealth and abundance, whereas this is going to be a bit more aimed at the actual manifesting side of things, and little intricacies around how that might work for you. Because I mean, there's the law of attraction, there's Esther and Jerry Hicks, there's many different methods out there that you can look into. But for me, the key is actually, yes, you can take elements from those. It's about raising your vibration. It's about matching the vibration of what it is that you're calling in, whether it's a new car, new partner, whatever it is. But then it's also about playing with the universe on the small things first to see how you and the universe co-create what it is that you want together. So whether it's starting with a small thing like manifesting a free coffee from the universe, and about asking, okay, well, why did you ask for a free coffee? Or, start there at small things, and because the rules apply to the smallest things exactly the same as they do to the bigger things. And then it's finding those little quirks through observation, and then you can manifest better, bigger, and easier.
Flow, divine flow.
Because we was talking about this yesterday, weren't we?
Yes.
And we found out that we manifest very differently. We do it in very different ways, but we achieve the same results. Me, it's almost like inadvertent. I've manifested a brand new phone one time. My phone was fine. I didn't need a new phone, didn't want a new phone. My phone was working perfectly, and I just happened to be going past, saw an updated phone in a magazine, and I just said to myself, no, I won't mind one of those. And that's literally how I did it. And then I think within a week I broke my phone, and the only way to get a new phone was a new contract, new phone, and the one that I just went, oh, I won't mind one of those. And I even said to my team, I didn't even want a new phone. So, whereas like if you applied that to all the laws of attraction rules and all the techniques out there that you may have tried or have looked at trying or people have told you about, doesn't fit any of them whatsoever. The one key thing for that is, though, non-attachment.
That's it.
That's the key. So it's not about matching your vibe. Oh, it's just like Uluru, there's a helicopter again. Thank
Flying
you.
high.
Yeah, thank you. Saint Germain. Saint Germain for me is about helicopters. So he's popping in, so thanks for that. Yeah, so it's about non-attachment. That's, to me, is the 5D vibrational, because there's techniques out there that they get you to sit there maybe 6 o'clock at night and write the thing you want out 20 times over and over and over again, and every day you do that, you're attached to it and you don't believe you're getting it, because the universe is a very powerful thing. You only need to tell it once. So if you tried that technique and it didn't get any results, you basically, it's like the kid going to the parent, oh, are we there yet, are we there yet, are we there yet? And it's like, I heard you the first time. The universe is like that on everything you ask for. It's more like Amazon. You go in your basket, you find what you want, you look at all through the pictures. Yeah, I want that colour. I want this kind of thing. Put it in the basket, press pay, and then wait for it to be delivered. That's how the universe works. So you think as soon as you've sent that request off, you forget about it. Yeah, you might keep an eye on delivery, the tracking delivery, but you're in 100% trust that it's going to turn up. That's how the universe works. That's non-attachment in a very simplistic explanation.
Yeah. And I love that, because when you not sure on what it is that you're wanting and you're new to this law of attraction, it is about working with the laws of the universe, and there are many. There's obviously cause and effect, which is karma. There's the law of circulation, which is really important, the breath in, breath out, the equal give and receive, and the non-attachment piece, the law of attachment, detachment, and non-attachment. There are 3 different pieces in the attachment phase. However, it's like placing the order at the restaurant, placing your order on Amazon. You place your order, you specifically know exactly what you want and do, but people are like, I don't know what it is I want. So that's when general starts. And that's when the universe starts to give you tracking, if you wish, or starts to give you little hints and go, is it this the thing? And then you can go, contrast gives you clarity. Because you are already a powerful manifestor. You just need to look at your environment. Everything that you have in and around you and that is happening to you, for you, with you, is you've manifested. And if that triggers you, then you're welcome. Because I know that when I first learned that, I'm like, no way did I want all of these things, all these experiences, or all of this debt, no. However, that was a belief system. And when you tap into your belief systems, which is all about inner work, which we'll talk about another time, that's when you can attract your vibration. Everyone says, oh, what's this vibration thing? Right? Because your vibration is what's calling in these things, right? But it's your belief system. And a belief is simply a thought that you've held onto, that you have an emotional attachment to. So your belief becomes your thought becomes a belief, becomes an emotion, and then that's what we attract on, because we act from emotion. And when we don't act, that's still an action. Inaction is still an action, and there's many different ways we can do that with attachment and non-attachment and detachment, right?
Yeah. Inaction could be patience. So it's not necessarily inaction, not necessarily you're not doing something. So for me, when I was manifesting a car a few years back, first thing the universe did was say, okay, you want a new car, you've got to show to us that you can actually look after the car you've got. So it started breaking. It started not breaking down, but parts of it started needing replacing. The cost of those things were worth far more than what the car was actually worth, because it was 20 years old, and it was just getting old. So things started wearing out, and I could feel the energy of that. So I was like, I knew, because I knew what was going on, I knew what the universe was doing. I was more than willing to put that monetary value back into the car to show the universe, yes, I'm ready for a new car because I can look after the old one, and I'm happy to. It needed things like new starter barrel and new front suspension, like some really expensive stuff at the time, and then also what was also going on at that time, because I was choosing between, I think, a Mitsubishi or a Subaru, and I kept seeing them every time I come up to a light. So there'd be a Mitsubishi one side and a Subaru the other, and there's a universe going, which one do you want? And because I couldn't quite decide, essentially I was saying to the universe, no, I don't want either. And then it just so happened that one day around Easter time, I was just literally out. There's a little side road by the side of the house where I lived at the time, and there's a little MG park there. And this is kind of where it looped in with what happened with the phone. I was with my son, and I went, yeah, if someone gave me one, they're quite cute little things. MG's a well-known British sports, good long-lasting sports brand that's come popular again, because the Chinese SAIC took them over. Anyway. So I just went, yeah, I want one of those. And from saying that to getting an MG was 3 months. So because I basically went, yeah, the universe went, right, we've got you, we know what you want. And then 3 months later, I'd got a brand new one, and the money was provided. So because it was during COVID, so in Australia, you was allowed access to your super, which is pension for the use in England. And you was allowed to access it 2 lots each year, so between the tax years, which in Australia is June, July. So I could get access to the money and fully pay for a brand new car. And so the way that worked, again, it was nonchalance, which is another level of non-attachment. Yeah, and I want one of those. And the universe went, oh, good, it's not really attached to it, so yeah, here we go. Yeah. And it got delivered within 3 months, brand new car.
And that's the difference between non-attachment and detachment. Because detachment is like, everyone goes, oh, you've got to let go. But you don't want to go, oh, I didn't want that thing anyway. Because, that's doubt. Doubt and fear cancel your request to the universe. Because it's almost immediately, and we had a little conversation about this yesterday, because I think we have a little slight belief system shift in our attachment detachment wording, because it's all about the power of words, which is why you need to feel into what is your methods of co-creating with the universe. And that's the power. That's why there are so many different teachers out there and so many different ways of like manifesting into material reality, manifesting into physical reality, because we are all separate co-creators with the universe. You can't manifest for another being, and they can't manifest for you. However, collective consciousness and collective manifestation is a very, very powerful thing. So when we collaborate and we want to manifest something, it literally turns up within like 24 hours, 72 hours max. It's instant. Like this trip to Sydney.
When we jokingly talk about things, we start seeing it on the number plates, or it's literally within a couple of hours. Sometimes it's like, God, we only spoke about that like 10 minutes ago, and there it is showing up because we're just having a laugh about something, and we start seeing it in physical reality.
And then your belief systems come up about that. It's like, oh,
do
I feel that I'm worthy of this thing? And that's the inner work. The moment you get that sense, and it's like, actually, where is that block? Where is that belief system from? Have I heard my parents say that, money's the root of all evil, or only bad people have money, and then they've done bad things to have this money, or an attachment, or like, then you go, actually, no, there's a lot of really good, powerful, rich, I'm going to use that word, people who have used their money beneficially, who have used that money, I was going to say moving that money as well, circulation, benevolently. So why don't you
accidentally turn that off then? Just had to move because I'm having to hold the camera because I've got my tripod, and so as I moved my hand I accidentally pushed the screen and it turned the video off. So Aida was in the middle of a really in-depth thing about wealth and abundance
and our belief systems around that.
Let's continue.
Thank you. And that's the power of manifesting with the universe. Like, this trip was truly spontaneous. It was a spur of the moment. It's like, well, we've got no plans. Why don't we jump in a car and travel to Sydney for the weekend? And we chose that specifically. And yes, we could have flown, and yet that we wanted the adventure of journeying and traveling in the car. And then throughout this whole weekend, we've had these incredible intuitive hits that every time we have trusted and allowed ourselves to be guided by that, we have just enormously been rewarded from it. And when we haven't quite completely followed it, it hasn't been bad or anything. It's just been, I kind of got an intuitive sense that may have been the case, but we kind of went with it anyway. So that's the universe. That's the contrast. There is no good and bad. It's saying, when you follow the laws of the universe, when you are trusting your divine intuition, your connectedness, and how you co-create with the universe, that's what allows you to be guided. And yes, even though we are separate creators and we have our own intuitive ways in listening and co-creating with the universe, like when we do it together and we bounce off each other, it's like, I got a sense of this, and then we get to share that beautiful belief system and truth, and the power in that is so beautiful. And that's what we were saying yesterday about compromise, because now that we have different wants and desires too, right, with our co-creation energy, right, where do we go for dinner? Oh, I fancy this and you fancy this. So there may be a little bit of compromise, but when we do it beautifully together, it's like, the universe rewards us both. That's the thing. That's the belief system, that by you receiving, you are not taking away from another. If the whole world took an in-breath at the same time, there'll still be enough air. And yes, I know that there is a difference between that and money and things. However, this is the universe showing you how incredibly abundant it truly is. Because by you receiving, it is not taking away from another, because that is their belief system. By you receiving, it demonstrates to another. It gives another permission that they too can have those things. So if anything, just give it a try. Play with the universe. And it is play. You don't want to be like, and yes, the scripting helps, and yes, the manifestations help, but if you're doing, and the reason why we say do it at 6 o'clock every night, it's to shift the belief system. But then it's that rigidness that becomes work, and then you're like, oh no, I've missed a day, or I've missed a thing, or I spelt a word wrong, and oh no, like that is like, the universe is so benevolent.
Energy drops.
And absolutely, and the universe is so benevolent and understanding that it's going to go, it's okay, place your order, and we'll keep giving you little messages along the way. And he's like, is this the thing? No, okay, cool. Contrast gives you clarity, and gratitude is the most powerful thing you ever have in your arsenal, in your toolkit, towards achieving and manifesting more.
Yeah, absolutely. And going back to the car thing, once I said to the universe, I wouldn't mind one of those. I think 3 months later, an advert came up for MG on my Facebook wall. The sun's coming through. On my Facebook wall, there was a special on. So I went down, and from sitting in one at the dealership to getting the car was a week and a half. And the very first one I sat in was the one I actually bought. and I've remembered this, because when I got sat in it, when I got out the car, this grasshopper, honestly, a huge grasshopper. Now, bearing in mind that the dealership isn't near a park or anything like that, it's on a main road through the Gold Coast. And this massive grasshopper jumped onto the bonnet on the car, and then jumped on me. And it's basically the universe going, take the leap. Take the leap.
This is yours.
Yeah, this is yours. And there was a final test at the end, because I went out to get the money out of my bank account, left my bank down, literally. And it's not like I had an exact amount. I had like an odd amount in my bank account, and it was dollar for dollar that left us absolute zero in my bank account. And I'm like, and the universe going, trust. So they said, take the leap and then trust that the money's there. So, and I knew what they were doing, and I just went, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. I know what you're testing me out. And so I just, got the banker's check and went and got the car. And so but I learned all this through observation of how my manifesting works. And I started that through, but manifesting coffees and small things. And even every day when I remember to, I'll ask the universe, okay, bring me a physical gift today. And I leave it open to the universe. And I make sure to say physical, because like if you ask for a gift, sometimes you can get someone to give you a compliment, and then you'll go, oh, I didn't receive a gift today. A compliment's a gift. Or you might have seen someone looked at you and smiled at you when your mind was off elsewhere. That's a gift. So I always make sure to say physical. And if I don't specify, every time when I've done that, I've got something. It might have been a feather or a shell, or it's always something physical. So the good thing is I'm already at that level where now, if I really wanted to, I can start getting a bit more specific, knowing that I will receive it, because I've got 100% evidence of receiving things that I ask for with no work. I ask in the morning around 8:30, and I just go, hey universe, I'd like to receive a beautiful physical gift today, something that I've never received before. That's all I do. That's all I ask. There's no manifesting work behind it. It's basically saying to the universe, hey, could you deliver this? That'd be great, thanks. And then there's so much no attachment to it. It's like, I don't care whether I get it or not, which that's the non-attachment. That's why it comes.
And a lot of people are trying to manifest from scarcity. I don't have enough money. I don't have the love of my life. I don't have a thing. He's trying to find something about this time.
We're getting, as much as I want the sun glazing through, it's putting on the screen. So.
We're trying to come from a space of lack, which is why the attitude of gratitude is so important. And that's the energy you want to call in from. And it's the important piece here too is gratitude, yes. But what's your thought process, belief system around success? What does success mean for you? What does abundance mean for you? Because abundance in this day and age, we are so attached to money. It's not the only thing. Like you said, a cup of coffee is basically someone giving you $5 and putting it in your pocket because you didn't have to pay for it. But abundance is like, we're rich in love. I have so much abundance of love energy in and around me. I feel so blessed and grateful that the more I am so grateful for that love and abundance, I receive more. And it does filter through across all of your pillars. Are you rich with friendships? Are your friendships true and they're die hard? Ride and die hard, right? Like there's so many different ways that one can really tap in the energy of abundance. And that's a really important step to begin with. What do you associate success with or abundance with? Family. When you have a beautiful close-knit family or community, that's an abundance energy. So start to talk in that manifestation mindset. That, like vocabulary, spelling, of course. Again, we spoke about once before how spelling, we're constantly clicking. Sorry, guys. Manifesting is bringing in your verb spelling things. Spelling is what you're calling in constantly. So shift that. Don't have enough and trying to manifest because I need the money and I need this. It's like I always have money. It comes to me easily, and it comes with all revenue streams, and I have a rich in love. I'm rich with family, I'm rich in community. I have so much breath, everything around you have called in, and be grateful for that. And from that space is where you can manifest from deeply, gratefully, more, if you wish. And more isn't just a thing because I want to keep up with the Joneses, I've got something to prove, or filling a void in my space and in my heart that I haven't done the inner work. Yeah, when you're trying to manifest from that space, that's lack.
And that's a whole, on all the inner work stuff, that's a whole podcast on its own, which we did speak about when we spoke about wealth and abundance. We delved a bit more into it, but it's so expansive. We could do 3, 4, 5, 10, an abundance podcasts on it.
It's part of our mentoring.
As part of our mentoring. And, and family's not just blood family either. Your community can be your family. And that's where we'll bring it and end it here is because we spoke about family right at the beginning. Of all the coffee shops we could go to, and I was intuitively guided to that coffee shop because I was actually looking, Lavazza's my favourite coffee, which is Italian, so I was trying to find a Lavazza place in Sydney, but the universe guided me to someone that had an Italian feel. I think the chef's Italian, he said, George, and I think George, it was George who was talking, wasn't it? Yeah, George, yeah. He was telling us that the chef's Italian. He's not himself, but, he chose that La Famiglia, which means the family. So we found, the universe guided me to somewhere that would feel like family. And the coffee was amazing. So, which is brilliant. So when you trust intuition and you're asking for something, because I was asking the universe, I want Lavazza, and they said, well, we can't get you Lavazza, but we'll get you the next best thing. And I followed my intuition because there was 2 coffee shops beforehand, didn't quite feel right, and then my intuition went, go down that street, and it was the very first coffee shop down that street. I'm like, yep, that's the one. Perfect. So we then, that was yesterday, and then we went there today for breakfast, and the food's pretty good as well. So good food, fantastic coffee, fantastic people. Yeah, they make you so welcome even if they've never met you, and it's very bubbly kind of personality. They both are the partners that run the cafe. So yeah, if you're ever in Sydney CBD near Hyde Park, go and check it out. And that's where we'll leave it. We're in the family of birds. You could probably hear them chirping all the way through. So I'm very, very blessed for the carongs and ibis and the other birds, the minor birds. There's ducks. There's an abundance of birds. It's beautiful, a beautiful background noise, and they're getting closer and closer. It's just the universe backing us up. So thank you very much for watching. This is a much shorter podcast because I can only hold this phone for so long. Plus we've got to get back on the road, back home, and on another road trip for today. Take care, everyone.
Much love.
Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you for all the new subscribers. I truly appreciate that. And we'll be able to go live on the YouTube soon. We've just got to find out what the technical issue was. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Much love. So this is just another quick add-on to the podcast that we did, because you can just see on my shoulder there you got the Harbour Bridge, because we didn't want to do the podcast right near the Sydney Opera House because it'd just be too busy, too noisy. So just to show you the iconic landmark that's in this area in the background. Anyway, again, thanks for watching the podcast. We'll see you soon on the very next one. Take care.